UNHCR opened the office here in Skopje in 1992, and in the beginning our activities was geared towards assisting refugees from Bosnia. But when the Dayton Peace Agreement came in place and the refugee situation in Bosnia was gradually solving itself, we faced another situation at the late 90s, and that was the conflict in Kosovo. And then, at the height of the conflict, more than 360,000 refugees from Kosovo crossed the border and were accommodated here for a period of time. When things stabilized in Kosovo, many returned, but others had problems in returning and needed help. And from day one, we have tried to facilitate and assist these people to solve the obstacles that was stopping them from or preventing them from returning home. And what we have seen for the last 18 years through our assistance programs, when it comes to legal assistance, when it comes to material assistance, transport assistance, housing assistance, the numbers have gradually reduced, and at the moment we are remaining with only about 600 Kosovo refugees residing in this country at the moment. It's a very small number, and the reason why these people are still here is because there are more problems that they are facing in terms of having an opportunity to go back and to restart the lives that they left. Now what we see is that as the numbers reduces, the cases that remain are often the ones that are most vulnerable. Many of them, a large number of the remaining belong to the Roma group, and many of them have problems with documentation and to prove their identity. Also, many of these families have children that have been born here, or part of the family has married locally. You know, some of these families have lived here for 18 years, so naturally they have made new links and have new contacts. There could be housing. We see housing is a problem because they didn't have proper housing in Kosovo, and they have no house to return to. So for them to be able to return, this problem has to be solved. So what we are trying to do in UNHCR is to work very closely together with the government here in Skopje and also in Kosovo to try to find individually tailored solution to the problem of this group that remains. Either in terms of going back home, or if it's more convenient, that the durable solution would be local integration here in this country. That's a question. We call it voluntary return, that people choose themselves what would be best for them. What we see is that refugees are the best persons to decide themselves of what is best for them. And by talking to them, we will find out and try to assist them in achieving this option. I think personally that yes, many of the families that have lived here for 18 years and can very easily continue to their, if they are processed and regularized and given access to the same rights and services like any other citizen of this country. so that they can contribute to build the country, to contribute to the society, and to have a meaningful life. Every country has rules and regulation in how to, when it comes to citizenship and how to obtain it and all these things. So very often people need some kind of documentation to prove who they are, birth certificates and ID cards and all these things. But many of these people don't have these documents. So it's a question to process them and to prove who they are and to get them into the system. So that is the issue that we are trying to work very closely, and we are very fortunate that we are working in partnership with very many local organizations and trying to solve this problem from different angles. And a very important part of UNHCR's assistance to this group is legal assistance, for these people to have a lawyer to represent them, to obtain the documents that they need. Very often they have problems in getting through to the authorities with their claim. But we are pushing these issues by providing lawyers who are guiding them and who is obtaining the necessary documentation on their behalf. So that is an important part of our part. And the government is very cooperative, and I have to commend the efforts that has been made by the government in trying to rectify and to find solution for this group of people. The strategy of local integration that was made in 2015 is a good example on a good tool to ensure of regularizing the situation of these people. We are providing assistance when it comes to when people want to return. That means that we provide them with some package so that they can depart from here, and also we provide them with an arrival package when they go home to Kosovo, which will enable them to integrate locally there. We have also provided transport and made the practical arrangements for these people. You know, it costs money to move from one place to the other, it costs money to establish yourself, and some of the financial aspects of this we have been able to do. We have also been able to provide what we call essential items like blankets or clothing or other commodities for very vulnerable persons. Plus the cost of the legal representation when in trying to obtain documents or to regularize their stay. Yes, we have an office in Kosovo, and actually I used to work there many years ago, so I was on the other side welcoming people who returned to Kosovo, and yes, together with the authorities and the government in Kosovo, we were trying to provide assistance packages so that they could reintegrate and regain their livelihoods as they had before. So we could provide like start-up packages for agriculture, you know, tools and seeds and fertilizer until they become self-sustained, or housing allowance for a period. So, you know, we are not just assisting them here to send them to Kosovo and forget about them as soon as they cross the border. No, we take them the whole way, and we very often assist people for that transition period that they need in order to re-establish their lives again. Yes, if they have a problem with documents, then that will be pursued in Kosovo. But if they are residents of Kosovo, citizens of Kosovo, they will be provided with the documents there. If they, through other means, are allowed to stay here or will be integrated here, then there are rules and regulation in how to obtain local citizenship here that we could facilitate and we would try to assist it. So it depends from case to case. And every family, every refugee has an individual story, an individual reason why they either cannot go home or whether they want to stay here and whatever. And by listening to them, we are trying to find out what would be the best option for them and then help them to realize it in the best possible way.